Somebody took away your business, your income, your position at work, your titles, who would you be? Not what would you do, but who would you be? Most men have never asked this question, or the ones who have asked, something forced them to do it. Something forced them to analyze and ponder about these things. So today, guys, we're going to talk about here identity versus achievement. Who are you without your work? And why this is something that most men, not most men, why this is something that all men must be thinking about. Because we all attach ourselves too much, attach our identity too much with the work we do. And it's important, the work we do, but attaching it too much may lead to certain things that we're going to talk about here in this lesson, in this video. Okay? Something very important to begin is that we understand that the modern world, society, has sold to all of us, men, a quiet lie that who you are is what you produce. And we're going to see why this is not true, not entirely true. And what we will explore in this lesson is first, why men confuse who they are with what they do, the hidden cost of building your identity on achievement, and then we're going to see a framework for rebuilding identity from the inside out. And fourth here, 3 questions every man needs to sit with. It's very, very powerful part in the lesson here. And 5, what a sovereign present life actually looks like. Okay? So first we need to understand the lie we were taught. Since our childhood, since we were little kids, this has been permeated throughout most cultures in the world here. And from childhood, we are all rewarded for what we do, not by who we are. Grades, trophies, titles, income. Over time, guys, this shapes a dangerous belief here that your worth is your output. And we're going to find out why this lie can be pervasive, can be dangerous for a lot of men. And here's some stats for you guys. 72% of men tied their self-worth to their career or income. 3 times higher burnout rate among high-achieving men versus average population. And 68% of fathers say work stole time they can't get back with their kids. Very painful. I became a father 3 months ago. And I now see and understand how having a 9 to 5, how just working so much and losing time with their child can be very dangerous and sad at the same time. I have my own business. I am an entrepreneur. I have freedom. I see my daughter wake up every single day. I stay at home. I work from home. So for me, it's a blessing. I'm grateful for the opportunity I have to have my own business. But for a lot of men, they don't have the same opportunity. So they feel like they're wasting time, precious time that they can't get back with their kids because they're growing up fast. So this is very crucial because we all think about the lie that you are your output, but you're not. And we're going to see why. Okay, so how the achievement trap forms here. From boyhood, man is praised for doing things. Now, when you're a baby, of course, you're not praised. You're just existing. So as a baby, you get all the attention, you get everything. Your self-worth is extremely high because you're a baby. You cannot yet, as men, produce anything. So that's how society engineered things to feel like. That just because you're a child now, you're a baby, and you can produce as a boy, then you have worth. Then your worth is high. Now, for women, even if they're growing up, and this is not red pill content, guys. This is something else, different, deeper. Okay? So we're praised as men for doing, especially when we start growing up as boys, for grades, for sports, trophies, performance, and we attach that to love. We think, oh, if I'm having good grades, if I'm playing great at sports, or if I'm receiving trophies and having a good performance, I am loved. That's how we see the things. That's how we see the world, guys. We see that we're loved for what we do. Okay? Now, school identity links to results. So you're smart or not smart. Label stick for life. So when you're growing up, you're going through school, doing exams, learning things, and then you feel like you're not smart because your teachers, your peers, the people at your class, they were telling you that you're not smart because you just did not do good in the grades, in the exams, and everything. So these labels stick. So we also think, oh, since I'm not smart, I don't deserve love. I'm not receiving love. Of course, you don't think clearly like that, but you attach emotionally to what you can provide, and that's how you feel love. Career, title, salary, and status become the scoreboard of your worth. So you value yourself to the proportion of how much you make a year, for example. And people around you also value you with that same standard. So this is a big one that we're all in right now. So we think about our title, our salary, our position as what will define our worth. Now, number 4, hustle culture. Content tells you your value equals output. Rest is weakness. I've struggled with that a lot, especially when I want to make more money. I want to grow the business. I think that sleeping or resting is weakness, that I'm just, losing from losing precious time, and the competitors are behind me. They just want to destroy my business, and I must be aware. This is something I've struggled a lot. And the crash here, for number 5, a loss or quiet moment reveals you. A loss or quiet moment reveals you don't know who you are without your work, without the job, without the money. And what are the costs then? What are the costs? He can't rest. The man here can't rest because rest feels like falling behind. Stillness creates anxiety. You cannot do something and be still. You're always thinking about the job, the work that you have to provide, that you have to deliver something. He can't be present. He's always calculating the next move, even at dinner. So you can't focus. You're just focus. Actually, you can focus, but you're just focused too much and cannot be present for your family, for your friends. You're thinking about the next move, the next money you're going to make, the next marketing campaign. You're thinking about the next move. You can't be present, especially with children. If you have children and you're at the dinner table and you're just thinking about, you're worried about the job, the things that you're doing in your business, and then you can't be present and your kids are begging for a presence, your wife is begging for a presence, but you're not there. You're just thinking about how you're going to solve the problem. And something that I've learned is that to have balance in life, we don't have balance, honestly, but to have a balance in life, we have to be present. When you are at work, when you're working, then you go crazy. You do your best. You work hard. You think about the marketing campaign. You run the ad. You make the video. You make the call. You persist. But when you are with your family at their dinner table, you are with them. You're present for them. This is something crucial, guys. And when you are at church, you're present at church. That's how we balance things in life. He can't receive love. The man who identifies himself too much with his income. He can't receive love. He doesn't feel worthy unless he's producing. I would add here, unless he's making money, unless he's the top dog in his field. Okay? His family gets leftovers. This is a big one, guys. They get what's left of him, not the best of him. So when you're just focused too much and your identity is too attached to your income, then you're only giving what's left of you to your family, not the best of you. Because you spend so much time working, spend so much time thinking about the next move. You attach that so much to your identity that when you are with your family, they're getting what's left of you. Because everything, the best of you, was to the money. Okay, so here's a quote that's crucial for us to understand more is that prestige, position, and pay are subject to diminishing returns. So there's a law of diminishing returns here. The more you invest in them, the less lasting value you receive. The more you focused on prestige, position, and the money, the more you invest in these things, the less lasting value you receive. And lasting value here we could define as happiness, as quality time with your family, as a real legacy, something that when you're about to die, something that when you're laying down there at the end of your life, they're going to be proud of. They're going to be looking back and be proud of. So that's something very powerful here. Now, and how do we then build a life? So what is the contrast between the man attached to his achievement and the man attached to his real character? And I added here achievement-based identity. So this is the identity we're all taught that we need to have to be successful, to make money. And the identity I added here is the contrast, which is the one we are aiming here, the one we want, which is character-based identity instead of achievement-based identity. So the source of worth for the achievement-based identity, which is the one we are avoiding here, is the external results and validation. That's how we get our worth. That's where it comes from for the people who are attached too much to their money. Source of worth is external results and validation. For the character-based identity, the source of worth is internal values and relationships. So we get the source of worth from our relationships with our family, from the relationship we have with our friends, with God, the relationship we have with God. And I'm repeating here because that's the most important relationship. And the internal values we have, the values we hold dear to us, is also the source of our worth. And one of the values could be, I am a beloved child of God. I'm not going to be religious here or anything, but this is one of the values we can have, and this value can be a source of worth. Okay, now, achievement-based identity. When things go well, confidence surges temporarily. Now, when things go well for the character-based identity, we're grateful, gratitude, not arrogance. When things fall, identity collapses. I'm not making the money. Nothing's working. You have this mental struggle if you're too focused on achievement. If you have the achievement-based identity, when things fall, your identity collapses. However, when you have the character-based identity, resilience, you feel like, no, that's not the result. That's not who I am. I'm going to make this work. I'm going to have resilience. And you keep your identity because you're based on higher things, not money. Another thing here, relationship with rest. When you're resting, you feel guilt, anxiety, and avoidance. Now, when you have the character-based identity, rest is part of the work. It's normal. I gotta rest because that's what's giving me energy. Fatherhood, kids get what's left of him. Presence is the gift. So your most important gift that you give to your children, to your family, is your presence. Instead of just giving them, I now have free time because I'm not working, then I'm going to have a quality time with her family. If you don't have time to be with your family all the time, of course, we all work, we all do things. You got to make the time available you have the best gift, not what's left of you. Not the anxiety, the stress, and the negative things that you get from your work. End of career, existential crisis. End of career for the character-based identity is identity intact. chapter closes. Okay, I'm in a new phase. I'm going to keep doing new things. I'm going to start doing new things now. I'm going to spend time with my grandkids. I'm going to travel with my wife. I'm not going to be focused now on the career. Now, for a lot of people, especially old men, usually they get to their 50s, 60s. It's the end of their career. They have this existential crisis. So they have to be doing something. They have to work harder. Of course, we're still gonna work when we retire. We're still gonna work when it's the end of our career. But now we do other things, other meaningful types of work. Okay? And here's something very crucial, guys, the identity pyramid, which is how we must have a foundation here. So most men build this upside down. The pyramid below shows the correct foundation. Most men, they start up here, which is, here's written income and status. So there was a mistake here. It's not showing up, but what we have here is income and status. The output, useful, not the point. Okay, so a lot of people, they start with the income and status. We see a lot of people, I'm going to focus now. I'm going to make a lot of money. And that's my foundation. Then I will focus on purpose. Then I'll focus on relationship. Then I'll focus on character. But it's backwards. We must start from the foundation, which is character, faith, values. You are at the core. And these are the things that cannot be taken from you, even if you lose everything. If you lose the money, you lose the business, nothing's working out well for you. You have things that cannot be taken from you. The next thing in the pyramid here is our relationships. Relationship with spouse, children, community, relationship with God, your legacy. Then going up, we have your work, what you're here to contribute, your purpose and calling in life. And that could be through your work and business, which is the tool. Work and business is the tool you use to fulfill your purpose and calling. And also serve the relationships, but the foundation is here, character, faith, values. And then at the top, we have income and status, the output from all of these things. It's not wrong to have income and status. It's not wrong. But this cannot be your foundation because it's not going to sustain the rest of your life. It doesn't sustain it. But character sustain the income. If you're a guy with good character, good faith, and values, then if you have income and status, you become an influence to the world. You become a force for good. So that's why it's crucial that character, faith, and values is at the bottom as our foundation. Okay? And here are 3 questions that we can make ourselves. And I'm going to make this document available here in the description of the video so you guys can download and do this exercise here. But here are the 3 questions that will rebuild our identities here. These are not quick questions. Each one is designed to strip away performance and reveal what's underneath. Read them slowly, sit with them. The discomfort you feel is the work. Okay, I'm just going to go through them very quickly here. And the first question is, what would I do if I knew no one was watching and it paid nothing? Just let's let that sit with you guys. How do the people who love me most describe me? And does that include my work? That's a very, very important question that you need to do the digging inside and find out the answer. And here, there's some things here to add. Your daughter won't remember your revenue. She'll remember how you made her feel. The people closest to you see the man behind the business. Their description is often more accurate than yours. That's powerful. And then the first question here, just let me just go through here very quickly. This strips away performance entirely. When there's no audience and no reward, what remains is close to who you actually are. Your answer reveals your real values, not the ones you perform. And number 3 here, if this all ended tomorrow, what would still be true about me? What's left when the achievement is gone is your actual self, faith, character, the way you love people. That is the foundation. Everything else is built on top of it, not the other way around. And here we have a test that you guys can also take, and that's going to give you if you're having an identity crisis, or if you're aware but anchored, or if you're grounded. And that's going to be a very interesting exercise you guys are going to make here. You're going to participate. I'm going to leave the document in the description below. And for the last part here, I also gave you guys here in the document the sources so you guys can look it up and do some further reading. But here, as the last section, the man on the other side. This isn't about working less, guys. It's about knowing who you are before the work begins in the morning and after it closes at night. Here is what that looks like. So we're going to have a shift here. The same man, you're the same man. You're going to keep your job. I'm not saying, oh, just quit your job, just dump your business, just don't do anything else to make money. No, it's not what I'm saying. We're just changing the foundation here. So here is the shift. Before, when we are having the identity crisis here. Before, checks revenue before saying good morning. First thing you do when you wake up, you just check revenue. Can't enjoy weekends without working. Defines himself by what he's building. Family feels the tension in him. Afraid to stop, not sure what he'd be. Success feels hollow when it arrives. Very true, guys. Now, with the character identity, wakes up knowing who he is before anything. Rest is part of the design, not a reward. Work is a tool that he picks up and puts down. It's just a tool. I pick up work and I put it down. Now I'm going to enjoy something else. I'm going to enjoy my family. I'm going to enjoy kids. I'm going to enjoy my church, my faith. It's not everything. Work is not everything, guys. Family gets his real presence, could walk away without losing himself. Achievement becomes a byproduct, not the point. And here are some quotes just so we can end the video here. And let me know what you guys think in the comments below so we understand each other and see if this really made sense to you or if not. But here are some quotes just to close the video. Wealth is assets that earn while you sleep. Identity is the self that remains when the assets are gone. And this is from Naval. Success, like happiness, cannot be pursued. It must ensue as the unintended side effect of one's dedication to a cause greater than oneself. Viktor Frankl here. The ego is the enemy of what you want and what you have. It prevents you from becoming what you could be. And this is from Ryan Holiday. And here, just to close, guys, achievement is a great servant and a terrible master. Know who you are before the business opens and after it closes. That man is who your family needs. That man is who you need to find. And here's something for you guys to think about. Who are you right now when the work is put away? Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm going to be making more content here. Subscribe to the channel. Comment below what you think, if this made sense or not. We're going to see you guys in the next video. Let's get it.